I wanted to do a video about how to deal with physical pain every day, but remaining positive and optimistic if that's important to you. It's something that I've definitely beat myself up about in the past, like, you should be happier, you should just be grateful. But when you're living with pain every day, it's not easy. And it doesn't really matter what kind of pain that is, whether it's physical pain, mental pain. If that pain feels very strongly for you, then that's your pain. That's what you have to live with, and you know your body and your mind better than anyone else. So share your story with people who care, and if it's important to you to stay optimistic and positive, try and work a way out forward from it to stay in that state of being, and see if you can work towards some goals to try and achieve them. There's nothing that makes me feel happier and more proud of myself than when I've achieved a goal that I've set for myself, even if it's a baby goal. Baby goal is a baby goal. 1% is 1%, because all these little 1% add up, and then it'll be 20%, 35%, 43%, whatever. It's worth it. So, as I mentioned on the first video about my particular story, after the accident and after the issues that I had with having to leave a relationship because of cheating, a difficult work situation, COVID came, like I mentioned, and I got time to heal. But also during that time, when I had been discharged from hospital after the 3 surgeries, whatever, agony, because only one of them was under general anaesthetic. It's quite funny actually, because there was a power cut right before I was due to get my surgery, and the consultant was like, "This boy needs his surgery, he's had that glass in there for over 24 hours, we need to get him sorted, he definitely needs his operation," because they were obviously cancelling some operations. So even though I did have a few bad experiences with some doctors, on the whole I had very good experiences, and I'm very, very grateful to the ones who were very supportive and helped me in my time there. But after 2 months or so, 3 months after during the lockdown, I was like, this, for a punctured lung, they're saying a couple of weeks. Mind you, mine was stabbed with glass, it was filled with blood, I had tubes in, draining all that blood out, it was just completely filled with blood. But also it had gone into my chest as well, so it had severed an artery. I had 800 milliliter blood clots across my chest and in my sort of upper left lung area. So it wasn't just, I'm not saying just a punctured lung, because then after the punctured lung, then the surgery to get out the glass, so that was 2 surgeries, and then after that, a couple of days, I had an air leak in the front of my chest cavity, so they had to put another tube in there, and that one was, oh man, that was, the first surgery was bad enough, but that one was really bad. I kept saying to the doctor who was operating on me, like, this is agony, you're gonna have to, I had to actually stop him, and there was tears streaming down my face, it was that painful. Oh, it was so, I was squeezing that I was like, "Can I hold your hand please," to this student nurse girl who was really good at looking after me, and thank goodness she allowed it. But the doctor had also, without necessarily my consent, had 4 other doctors standing against the wall watching the surgery. So I was absolutely humiliated. And unfortunately, I'm not blaming this, because, like they said, it's life-saving surgery. I've unfortunately been left with nerve damage on my left side, just above my nipple, and also I can't lie on the side where the tubes went in, so I have to lie on my back. But hey, at least I've still got a body. This is what I wanted to say about, like, I used to compare my body against, like, I'm not as big as that guy, I'm not as physically strong as that guy, I'm not as good, I'm not good enough, I'm not as good as them. But actually, as times went on, and as this has happened, I realise how grateful I am for my wee body. Like, it's come through a lot, it's healed itself, or as best it can, healed itself from the issues that occurred following the picture falling on me. So I love and appreciate my body now. I'm so proud of it, and that's certainly not from an arrogant point of view. I don't think I'm all that, but I appreciate it for myself. I appreciate what it does every day when I wake up and I'm in pain straight away. Like that's difficult. Like, how on earth do you keep a positive mindset when you're waking up every day and you're like, oh, I'm in pain already? I've not even got up. And then because I'm lying on my back, sometimes my back gets sore because you wouldn't mind being able to move about a bit. So what do I do that definitely benefits me in staying on the straight and narrow path to optimistic, positive attitude? So, if possible, meditation. Whether that's walking meditation, shower meditation, or just sitting doing a guided meditation, or listening to nothing, just doing a silent one. Just sit in silence and listen to your breath. Going in and out. And just like that. Whatever way is right, there's no wrong way to do meditation, in my belief. Also, could try some yoga moves, whatever you're physically able to do. Baths always help me. I was speaking to my coach, and he was talking about baths, and definitely, especially at the end of the day, or sometimes at a weekend, if I wake up and I'm in pain straight away, I'll have a bath. I might not have time for that in the morning before I have to go to work, but definitely a bath is so soothing and restorative for me, as is a shower to waking up and freshen up. I don't really drink, or I don't drink coffee unless I'm really, really tired, but even then I don't need it. I don't want to have anything that races my heart and makes me anxious. I want to try and be as calm and chill as possible, because it matters to me. I get more done, better things come into my life, I'm more open to better things, because if I'm walking about with a lot of anxieties going on, a lot of worries, thinking about a problem that happened before that maybe might happen in the future, probably won't, so it's a waste of time, then I'm not open to new opportunities, new experiences. And some of the best experiences I've ever had have been when I wasn't expecting them. I was just happy, going with my flow. I felt good about life, good about what I was doing. In fact, when I was 23, so 10 years ago, so I was 13, I moved to Spain for the first time, went to school there for a year, and came back because I missed my mum and family. I was with my dad, who I don't speak to now. And then when I was 23, so 10 years after that, I moved to Barcelona by myself, and I'd saved up maybe £3,000 so that I wouldn't have to look for a job straight away. And I didn't know anyone. I'd met the landlady online on Gumtree, but I really wanted to do it. I really wanted to have an adventure. I felt called to Spain again, because obviously I had a history of sorts there. And I'm not joking you, everything just worked out exactly how it was supposed to. Before I went, one of my good friends had given me a book, The Secret. I believe it just came out back then. I'd never heard, I'd always tried to stay positive and optimistic, but I'd never heard of the concepts described in there about law of attraction, like attracts like. And really, it actually does make a lot of sense. Even if you just look at it at the most basic level, like I've just said, if you're walking about with a bad attitude, a bad mindset, whether that, not saying that that's not warranted, you know, that maybe that is totally warranted, but it's a choice. And then you're going to see other things like that, other things that will make you angry, other things that might hurt you, other people that might hurt you. Whereas if you've got that attitude of life is great, and I know it's not easy, it's much easier to just look at what is, expect more of what is. Maybe all your life it's been that way, so it's hard to try a new way. But all I would say is the old way didn't work. Do you know what I mean? Criticizing yourself, beating yourself up, thinking the worst. Has that made your life any better? It didn't make my life any better. So I was ready to try a new way. So the funny thing is, when I was reading it, I was really enthralled by it. I was like, this makes so much sense. Got on the plane by myself, and the woman sitting next to me and her husband, she said, "Oh, what's that book you're reading? My son's reading that book. Oh, he says it's really great. Oh, yeah." And then we spoke about it the whole way there. When I got there, I went out a big walk and ended up on one of the beaches. There's like 8 beaches there. On my very first day getting there, I met my roommate, and then I went straight out because I just really wanted to explore. And out of all those beaches in the whole of Barcelona, that is massive, I tried to walk from one end to the other and got lost. And it is much bigger than it looks on the map. You know, on the map you think, oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah, it was quite far, especially in that heat. It was like 37, 38 degrees. I went in the summer. I think it was August 2013. Yeah, it was August 2013. And they called me over. I was in my own wee head. I had my headphones in. I was looking at all. I was so happy to start my new life there, because at that time I was moving there for good. I wasn't gonna come back. And they called me over from a beach bar way over there. They said, Fraser, is that you? And I looked, I was like, oh, there they are. So I went over, they bought me lunch, or they invited me to sit down. They were having some tapas, so I had some stuff from the table. And it was just lovely, great. And then I didn't plan on getting a job straight away, but straight away my roommate had found someone who needed a English tutor for their children. And then also I was in a social club about a week, maybe 2 weeks after being there, and they asked me, do you want a job? We've just opened up some positions in reception. It'll also involve some bar work. You'll be signing up members, doing some cleaning, basically that. So I was like, yeah, I want that job. The English teacher sounds great, but that they weren't offering me anything straight away. Like, that was still in motion, whereas this was offering me something straight away. It seemed great, it seemed fun, the people were nice, so it just worked out for me. And everything just seemed to work out because I had a good attitude. Unfortunately, after nearly a year, I'd come home one Christmas and noticed that something didn't seem right with my grandma, who was my best pal. And I got back to Spain, and during the night, I say the second night I got back, I just sat straight up in bed, woke up, and I was like, I need to go home. Something's not right. Something's not right. So I went home, and she told me she had leukemia, and she'd actually had it for a few years, but she didn't want to tell me because she didn't want me not to go to Spain, because she knew I really wanted to do it. And obviously that was gutting at the time. I was like, you should have told me, but I understand why she did it. And I'm glad that I found out. It was just by chance. Nobody told me what was going on. But thankfully I got three years with her, and I stayed with her until eventually I got my own place, after, the last sort of 6 months or so. And it was just amazing. I absolutely loved staying with her and my grandpa. And I still go and see my grandpa regularly to watch old movies from the 40s and 50s, the black and white crime movies, and have dinner at least once a week. and it's just brilliant. I learned so much from them, you know, like that. They didn't have phones, they didn't have tablets or anything, or computer. We used to sit together and have our dinner and talk to each other, and they taught me about manners and hard work and good times, having a good life, enjoying life. So I definitely am so grateful. And obviously, this is the thing where when my gran did pass away, I was absolutely gutted. I was lost, you know? So I've not always been able to sustain that positive momentum of thinking good thoughts, wishing only for the best, expecting the best, or going with the flow. But through practice and through distraction techniques, which sometimes you just need to distract yourself, go a walk, go in nature, hug a tree, play with your pets, go out with your pals, see your family, you know, whatever it is to go to the gym. If I know that really, really benefits some people for their serotonin levels and endorphins. So go to the gym, do what you have to do to get by it, and if all else fails, go to sleep and start again tomorrow. Just start again when it's fresher in the morning. Although I do understand that a lot of the times you wake up in the morning and you start thinking about the problems of yesterday, or you start thinking about how hard today might be. So that's why I wanted to do this video about, you know, how they deal with that, with the pain. So, or comedy shows, watch a comedy. Sometimes you just need a good laugh, you know, and then things don't seem as serious. Life is never going to be, I'm reading this audio book just now, which was recommended by my men's development group, which is about No More Mr. Nice Guy, which is, it genuinely is a decent book to help people. And one of the things in it, well, it's all about putting yourself first, because when you do that and you meet your own needs rather than expecting other people to meet them, which is, you know, a lot of people, we want to be approved, we want to be loved, we want to be accepted, and we think that's the way to go about it. But actually, if we look after ourselves first and do what we have to do, even if that means setting boundaries or saying no or whatever, then you've got more to offer others. But each of us is responsible for our own happiness. And, you know, yeah, just have a belly laugh sometimes and do what you have to do to survive. But aim towards thriving, because we deserve to thrive. So I definitely think we should, or I don't want to use the word should, I think we get to approach each day as a new day. It's never happened before, it'll never happen again in exactly the same way. We will never meet the exact people at the exact time, have the exact experiences ever again. It's unique to each day, and it's never happened before in history, you know. Similar things might happen, we might think similar things to other people, but it is truly unique. So I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks.